While pilgrims continue to flock to rural Missouri amid a remarkable story about the foundress of a Benedictine Order of Religious Sisters. Two members of that order just gave their first TV interview to EWTN News In Depth. We go now to Catherine Hadro, EWTN News Contributor, who just returned from rural Missouri. Catherine, great to see you. I know that you had the first and so far only TV news interview with the Benedictine Sisters of Mary. What did they tell you about their foundress?
Oh my goodness. Well, Tracy, it was such an honor to travel to Missouri and see firsthand what's happening. And it's an honor to speak with you today. In speaking with the sisters, the first word they used to describe their foundress, Sister Wilhelmina, is lovable. They said she was so lovable. And the second thing they said to describe her was that she had a love for the Blessed Virgin Mary. Yes, she loved our Lord and she loved Mary. She had a great devotion to the rosary. They said she loved jokes. She loved to have fun. She was kind of mischievous. She was a poet as well, frequently reciting poems around the abbey. Overall, the way they described her, Sister Wilhelmina, was faithful and fun.
Yeah, and not only does, Sister Wilhelmina's body appear to be in remarkable condition, but apparently her habit does as well. What did the Benedictines of Mary have to say about that?
Yes, well, Tracy, this is probably what stood out to me the most in my interview, because the sisters said when they had experts come to see the body for themselves, they were obviously marveling at the body, but they were almost more so marveling at the condition of her habit, because the cloth inside the coffin had disintegrated. There was a cloth that had closed Sister Wilhelmina's jaw when she was laid to rest. That had completely disintegrated. But the sister said her habit looked just as it did the day they laid her in the coffin. And to them, it made perfect sense, because they said Sister Wilhelmina, she really fought for that habit. She really fought to wear that traditional habit. In her previous religious order and religious community, she experienced a lot of heartache when there were some modern changes being made to the habit. She loved the traditional habit because she saw it as integral to her vocation as a bride of Christ, something that could not be compromised. So to them, it made perfect sense. Also in remarkable condition, in addition to her habit, her miraculous medal, her brown scapular, and also a crown of flowers placed upon her head, which would expect it to be dust by this point, but they were dried upon her head still in dried condition. The sisters observed it in this way. They said everything in that coffin that pointed to death had disintegrated, but everything in that coffin and touching Sister Wilhelmina's body that pointed to life, such as her vocation as a bride of Christ, that stayed intact.
That really is remarkable. It's so incredible to hear, Catherine. And thousands of people, they have descended upon the abbey there. Tell us what you saw. I mean, the impact of this story and also the sisters' reaction to all this fanfare.
I mean, it was really incredible. You had people who were nearby who came, people who traveled from all across the country, people who are faithful Catholics, those who are not Catholic and just curious to see what's happening. But something that really surprised me, I asked the sisters, has this been disruptive to your life? What has this been like to have to deal with all these thousands of people coming to your quiet rural abbey? And it really surprised me because, Tracy, they said they really didn't notice that much. They were able to maintain their day of Ora et Labora, of prayer and work, because of all the volunteers, the local volunteers, the local families that came and helped to address all those crowds. The sisters said they were able to stay at their part of the abbey that is closed off to the public. And the only time they really noticed all the thousands of pilgrims was during Mass, when they saw that the pews were completely packed. So they really expressed their gratitude to the volunteers who came and helped out with parking, with handing out water bottles, with answering questions, so that they could maintain their day and life of prayer.
Wow. And I know the sisters believe that Sister Wilhelmina really could be the first African-American to be found incorrupt, of course, pending church investigation. Did they speak more to you about the significance of all this?
Yes, this is very significant, and especially considering the context of Sister Wilhelmina's life. I mean, she was born in 1924, but the sisters said this when it comes to that aspect of Sister Wilhelmina's life. Here is this Black Missouri nun who started this religious order, and you look around at all the sisters, they're all white. Now, there is one Benedictine of Mary who joined a few years ago who's from Kenya, and she lives at their Ava, Missouri location. But if you look around, everyone is white. And the sisters said to them, this points to unity. It points to how Sister Wilhelmina is bringing everyone together, and that this is an opportunity for charity.
Beautiful. So beautiful, Catherine. Before I let you go, do you know what's next in all of this for the order and for Sister Wilhelmina?
Right. Well, that's a big question. For those who are hoping to visit Sister Wilhelmina's body, her body is now in a glass case at the church, at the abbey. But when it comes to what's next, no cause for sainthood can be opened until someone has been dead for 5 years. For Sister Wilhelmina, it has been 4 years. And so Bishop Johnston of the Diocese of Kansas City, St. Joseph, has been clear that no official investigation is underway. And so we are not to treat Sister Wilhelmina as if she is a saint. We are not to treat objects that touch her, such as rosaries, as relics. But of course, we at EWTN News will be following the next steps very closely.
Yes, we will for sure indeed. Catherine, thank you so much. Always great to be with you.